Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Derpcast casted match. Tonight we are actually watching an amateur match, zxcv versus B4IC. Now these teams have been doing alright in the season. They're both even have a win record of 1-1 right now. zxcv is placed 17th, with B4IC placed just behind at 18th. In terms of rosters, on the side of zxcv, on Combo Scout we have Sue, Frag on Flank Scout, Peep on Roamer, Coo Turtle on Pocket, and Figgity on Demo. For B4IC, we have Lorzak on Flank Scout, Swish on Combo Scout, Dirtblock on Roamer, Cop MC Copper on Pocket, Caprig on Demo, and it looks like we have Hexaray on Medic, who has just gotten in. A lot of these players have played a couple of seasons before. A lot of the players on zxcv didn't actually play last season, at least with RGL. They played in Season 3 with the same team name. However, Figgity last season was on No Limit for a short period of time, who ended up doing quite well. But Dropknock was actually on RGL on Ice, who was the first place newcomer team last season. The same story is kind of there for B4IC. A lot of the players playing on Rolling Bombs in Season 4, Cop MC McCopper or Cop McCopper on Pink as Hell Season 4, Caprig along with on Rolling Bombs as well. But I think the biggest player to watch out for here is Swish on B4IC. A ton of seasons of Highlander, a huge Highlander player, and 3 seasons of IM6s. So I think we really need to watch out for Swish to see what he could end up pulling off. I mean, with that out of the way, I believe we are going live fairly soon here. Just getting things tidied up. But yeah, in terms of predictions, both of these teams so far are ranked pretty damn evenly, so I don't actually know. Either way, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good game. It looks like we are going to be getting underway with this mid here, but I think Swish is probably going to be quite impactful. So let's watch Figgity as he's getting to mid first, rolling out lower, getting some early stickies down, some good sticky damage onto a lot of the players of B4IC. Kind of backing up as the rest of his team supports him, and B4IC is just walking up that right side of the map. They get a couple of picks, they get traded out though, and Hexaray goes down early by a good bomb from Coo Turtle, who is playing as Don Chadle 51, and really just a good collapse there, and it's 2 players up for ZX. Never mind, make that 1 player up from ZX, and it's just Dirtblock going to be going against Ray Ping for this last part of the mid fight here. Really, both players just trying to stay alive until they get spawners. Dirtblock going in for a bomb, launching Ray Ping up into the air. He is going to crater and secure the mid fight for B4IC. Really, the soldiers just being the most impactful there. Swish had kind of died a little bit early on, and unfortunately Hexaray died almost immediately, which is definitely not what you want to see, but it's kind of expected on Metalworks mids because the skybox is so high and soldiers can just absolutely bomb to their life's content, heart's content. Looks like we are going to be having a push in through house here. A little bit of a dry push and a really good collapse from Dirtblock, getting 2 kills with that bomb. Swish is cleaning up a soldier and then cleaning up this last soldier as well, and that was one hell of a dry push. Being fully confident in their abilities that they can take this, and they're just going to be rolling this straight into last with 86% Uber. They should have Uber. Oh, and Hexaray goes down by a good pick, but he's going to get turned on by Swish and just taken out Frag doing all he can to try and salvage that for his team, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough, and the first round goes in the way of B4IC. So far, not quite the super even match I was hoping for, but Figgity again getting to mid early, getting some early sticky damage. Swish goes down very, very low to some good spam there, but really just a huge collapse. Figgity is going to go down to Dirt Block. The soldier in behind is going to take out Swish, but he's going to get killed and cleaned up very quickly. The mid fight is fairly even here with one player advantage in favor before IC, and with Dirt Block coming into a big bomb here from high ground, he is going to take out Soob. Ray Ping is just going to get absolutely demolished by him and the scout, and Dirtblock gets the kill onto Drop Knock, which is going to win them that mid fight and give them full Uberad rolling into last here. And with Dirtblock already on second, they're probably not going to be contesting it, and it's going to be a free second point off of that mid wipe, and just some really good TF2 being played by B4IC. Ton of damage though in the way of B4IC, just a lot of players going down into the red. I'm not sure what that was. Potentially a sticky trap, but luckily for them, it didn't actually get anybody. Looks like they're going to be taking this Uber in through the left side, potentially. It is a sentry gun in the hands of Soob. Drop Knock is not going to have in time. Figgity just getting some traps down on the point. They're going to be bringing this in through this left side here. A lot of picks. Frag on the Pyro just completely stuffing this Uber. Ray Ping is going to go down, traded out with Swish. Dirtblock and Frag are soon to follow. This mid, or this last, is still anybody's game. A scout on the left side, just kind of stuffing this demo. He is going to get a nice pipe onto him from Catberg, and it's just Don Cheadle left on the point. Can he win it and hold out long enough for Ray Ping to get in? And unfortunately, no, he can't. Getting underway with the third mid, as B4IC is currently leading 2-0 in, well, they're leading 2-0. Coming in through house here, Soob is just in valley, trying to get some intel, maybe some high ground. Swish is taking a ton of damage early on as well. Dirtblock going down fairly low, a soldier in behind. This could be really bad if they don't see him. Dirtblock goes back to fight him, but he doesn't have enough health, and he is going to go down. Hexaray gets a good rocket onto her and going to go down to half health. They've pretty much completely swapped. You're playing this like a rotating mid. And at this point, with the huge collapse coming in from zxcv, it's going to lock these players in behind. Hexaray does have 100% Ubers, which is probably going to be using that to try and get out. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. They're just being stuffed up and popped all over the place. They're trying to force this Uber. I'm not exactly sure why Drop Knock forced there was a bottle, but I guess the Demo Man is very scary, especially when he's really drunk, and Hexaray and Catberg are just going to delay their death way longer than they probably should have. They did get the force, but probably shouldn't have gotten it. That should not have worked, and they should have probably just left with that Uber and tried to live. Lower up on the heavy, trying to just come in and hold, as they are at a slight disad, about 30% here, from that maybe not so heads up play. ZX is just building here in house, trying to set up for a push. It looks like they're probably going to try and take it out through left. I really gotta get binds for this setup. Where's the demo? There he is. They're going to be going in through left. They use early. He bombs in, and he tries to get in onto the med. That med is going to go down, focusing the med, getting onto the soldier now. The heavy does go down to Soob, which is a good job of them focusing down that soldier. Dirt Block is going to trade with Ray Ping, and with Catberg and Swish dying to Frag and Soob, respectively. It's just Hexaray left on the point, with Uber being popped up into the sky off of the point and then shot by that scout. Scout said pull, and the soldier launched Hexaray up into the air, and boom, that was that. Good little comeback from ZX here. I hope they can take it farther and maybe get some more rounds on the board for them and just continually get better here. Swish on to the soldiers here, just on the midpoint, getting some early damage. They do have a soldier behind again who they may or may not know about. Frag gets a frag on to Hexaray. Figgity onto Dirt Block with Ray Ping, Catberg, and Figgity now going down. That's going to put ZX at a huge player advantage. But Lore getting the kill onto... getting a trade out, and it looks like he's going to get out. Swish did get a good kill onto Drop Knock, though, which is definitely a good salvage, and now they're going to be at a slight advantage here, holding last or potentially second. But Lore is just all the way behind here, sitting in the red alley on the little funny spot above the health pack. Looks like he's going to try and get in. They know he's there, though. They know there's a player behind. They don't see him right now, and if he can hit these two meat shots onto the med, and he unfortunately isn't able to and just gets turned off by the entirety of the team. But it looks like that was enough of a distraction for Catberg to get two big kills, but Hexaray goes down. Luckily, McCopper does take down Drop Knock as well, and that's going to be mid back in the hands and back in the control of B4IC. All they have to do is push this last soldier out, and unfortunately, McCopper does go down, and Swish goes down to Raping as well. And before they were even able to cap, they go down and lose it again. Really unfortunate there, and just not something you really want to see in these sort of circumstances. But either way, zxcv is definitely coming back here a little bit. The second half of this first half, and just putting on a bit of a good show here, which I definitely appreciate. Ubers are just about, or are pretty much even right now. McCopper does get a kill into Frag, which is going to potentially open up the possibility of a counter sack. And it looks like that's what they did. Although Dirt Block isn't going to be able to get anything and just gets taken out by Sub. Definitely a good job from them, knowing that counter sack is coming and then being able to counter it. Just kill that soldier, not allow him to get any damage or any picks, or especially not the force or Uber drop. And being down a player here in this possible Uber exchange is not what you want to do, but a big pick there from Catberg to kill that soldier as he's trying to bomb through choke is going to slow them down, and that's going to give them a player ad that they can potentially work off of. And with how far these players are playing up in-house, they could just use straight into them and potentially kill a bunch of players and wipe them before that Uber even got used, or just kill the people who weren't able to be flashed. Dirt Block and a Scout just pressuring the flank here, trying to get some damage, maybe make an opening here to get in onto that enemy medic to try and force him. Again, the combo here of B4IC, Figgity getting a good pipe onto Swish is going to be unfortunate. Luckily for B4IC, Dirt Block is still behind and they don't seem to know he's there. He's going to get in behind house. They don't know he's here. Gets one rocket, two rockets, and he gets the drop onto Drop Knock. Okay, he does die to Sue, but still, what a good play, and his team just coming in right after him. Swish up to support his soldier. Unfortunately, he does end up trading out. Seems like Swish is sad, but they get the mid off of that. They did use their Uber, but because Drop Knock died and their med didn't, they're still going to be at a slight advantage here, about 20%, which is definitely actionable if you're super fast. Swish is building with his medic here, trying to increase that Uber advantage, and what went from only a 20% advantage is now an almost 50% ad, but with Dirt Block going down early, looks like they are still gonna want to push this in, and Catberg getting a good kill, a good pipe onto Frag. McCopper's gonna be bombing in. That Uber's going to be coming in, and Lore getting in behind onto the medic. Swish does get the kill, but a lot of damage from Lore. Definitely a good play there from the flank scout to come in through house, but a good kill from Sub is going to manage to take out Lore. Hexaray almost goes down, but that scout does die to one of the soldiers, I believe, of B4IC. still a big Uber advantage in favor of Hexarray right now. zxcv does have both Sub on the Pyro and Frag on the Engineer, which is going to delay any sort of push. That Pyro especially could come in clutch here and keep that Uber behind the choke point, but with the map being so open, but Dirtblock goes down to the Scorch shot, Sub dies to Copper, and Don Cheadle is in behind, who is Coup Turtle, gets the kill onto Catberg and just completely stuffs that push. They didn't know he was there. Hexarray uses and dies, and Dropknock now has full Uberad with his team to be able to push out. Copper is going to go down on the left side of lobby to Frag. No health and an escape plan taking mini crits. There's not much you can do there. Hexarray possibly losing out on a little bit of Uber there as she had spawned, but the second point is going to be taken pretty much for free by zxcv, which is definitely a good thing for them, and now they're going to be able to roll with this full Uberad into second here. But Dirtblock getting a huge bomb! Is he going to get it? Unfortunately, no, he's just not quite going to be able to deal enough damage to Dropknock, leaving him at 45 HP. Definitely a good attempt nonetheless, and that was a very good possibility of forcing the Uber. Catberg just getting a blind sticky det onto Frag. Little bit unlucky, but it's going to be good and help delay that full Uberad push. And now there is no full Uberad. A 40-second advantage was lost. Oh no, this is bad. Copper is in behind. He is instead going to opt to go support his team in the Uber exchange and in the post Uber. He's trying to get up to some high ground, get some good damage. He's going to get pistoled down by Soup though. Lord's going to get onto the demo. Figgity is going to go down. And that's going to be a lot of players down, 3 players. Make that 4 players down for zxcv. A soldier isn't behind. He does get Hexarray, though. No! Just going to give them a little bit of advantage. Frag is in house right now. Is going to get destroyed by both of the scouts. It's really unfortunate that Hexarray died there, but it was a good play from Don Cheadle or Coup Turtle to get that pick and try and salvage a little bit so that they can potentially hold second or mid for longer. In this case, they're holding second. They do have about a 30% ad here, which is definitely actionable, but they need to start moving towards whatever choke point they want to use in through now and go fast if they actually want to use this Uber advantage. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to be doing, starting to move towards the choke point at 80%, but with them only being at 100 now as they just start to move, there isn't going to be enough of an Uber ad to make a play here. And I hope the players of zxcv know this, because Hexarray is closing in on Uber, but Hexarray could die here, going down to 60 HP. Dirtblock is going to go down, and at this point, even if they do have to take an Uber exchange, they have an extra pick here. Don Cheadle is going to go down as well, though. They do force the Uber out eventually, which is going to be good. The Uber came in a long time ago from Dropknock, and unfortunately they weren't able to get anything. And seemingly just getting kind of disconnected. Raping, just trying to get some spam damage in here. He is going to opt instead to just back out and regroup with his team, as now B4IC is going to be trying to roll in here with this player ad. They do have an Uber dis ad though, so they're not going to be able to push into last right away. If they want to, they need to take the dry fight and take it now. Ubers are evening up, but with Frag on the Engineer and Don Cheadle on the Sniper, a dry fight does not seem to be in the cards, and especially with Dirtblock going down early, that's going to be any push just gone. And potentially a counter-sack coming in from zxcv. And it looks like instead of for a counter-sack, they're going to opt to take an Uber exchange on second instead. Don just trying to get some sort of sightline onto the second point. He does see the scout, but he doesn't take the shot. He does take the shot, finally misses. Dirtblock is going to trade out with Raping over in lobby. Some good pipes coming in from Figgity. But Catberg also getting some good pipes. A good sticky debt from Figgity, getting 2 picks there. And they're taking an Uber exchange with no players, but they have the better Uber. This demo is disconnected. He is going to go down to Cop McCopper. Hexaray lives here, and they could potentially refight this, but with that sentry gun up, again, a dry push probably isn't going to be in the cards. Either way, definitely some good playing coming in now. We are sitting at 12 minutes left in the half. 2-1 in favor of B4IC, who is currently on the blue team. We do have a spy in the hands of Don Cheadle, although it looks like he is maybe just checking for off classes and is instead going to opt for Sniper. Frag is still on the Engineer. Ubers are even right now at 100%, so any good team fight is going to come down to an Uber exchange, unless Don Cheadle can get a drop here. Which looks like it could be in the cards with Hexaray and where she is playing. If she peeks that shutter, that could be bad. Misses a shot onto the demo and unfortunately doesn't get the shot. Dirtblock is going to take out Ray Ping on that left side, and that could open it up for either a sack or just a team fight. Looks like they're going to opt for the sack, but that sentry gun definitely proving to be very important and super impactful in dispatching Dirtblock and not allowing him to get anything. But they are going to just opt in to take the Uber exchange here. Sentry gun does go down. Not a lot of cap time right now. Players are dying left, right, and center. It's just a big, scrappy fight. Don Cheadle getting some good picks. It's just Swish and Dirtblock alive, and with Swish dying now, Dirtblock just being a spawner, I don't think they're going to be able to get anything. He is going to hide, though, but he does get spotted by Sub and is going to get the pick, but is going to be traded out by Ray Ping. Definitely a good job from them not taking a 1v1 and being able to support each other. Unfortunately, Sub did go down, but whether he died or not, their team would still be in the same position here. Although, with that Uber advantage, about a 30%, which again is definitely actionable if you're fast enough, and that player Sub dying would definitely have slowed them down just a little bit. They may have been able to come in if he hadn't died, but we'll have to wait and see what happens right now. Ubers are going to be evening up here. It looks like Hexery was building pretty hard and has been able to even Ubers up, only getting 10% later than Sub's team, and they end up using almost immediately. The Uber from B4IC does come in as well, but with all the picks that they had been able to get previously, the post-Uber even still looks to be in favor of B4IC, as their Uber was so much better. The drop knock popped super early, popping straight through choke, and really not giving his team a whole lot of time to be able to get that enemy medic. Looks like they're going to opt to take a dry fight here. It's kind of just frag on the point. Ray Ping is a little bit far behind. The drop knock, the demo, and one of their soldiers are backing out right now. Ray Ping getting a big bomb onto Hexaray. That's a really good heads-up play for them. They're now up one player and can fight this second. But drop knock dropping to an insane little bomb from Dirtblock. That should not have happened, but wow, Dirtblock hitting some crazy rockets, getting a good little trick jump into drop knock and getting that drop. Don Cheadle is probably going to go down, ending up to crater in yard, and that's going to be mid in the hands of B4IC once again. Definitely Dirtblock proving to be more impactful than I initially thought he would be, but it's very clear that he knows what he's doing and definitely knows how to use a keyboard and mouse very effectively. Little bit of a stalemate here. Team's not really doing anything. Hexarray does have Uber now, with Drop Knock not too far behind, but Dirtblock gets the kill onto Frag, which could open it up for an Uber exchange, or at the very least, a counter sack. Looks like the counter sack is going to be exactly what he's going for, but he's going to be pressured by both the Soldier and Demo, although he is going to be able to get out alive as he's being supported by his team. Looks like they were trying to go for a double bomb there. Unfortunately, they didn't get it, but Dirtblock did manage to escape and get a pick as well, but Cop McCopper is going to go down to the Pistol of Soup, which is just a little bit unlucky. Swish taking a ton of damage in house here, not really, both players being really hurt in house, but Lore gets a pick in underpass, and that's the opportunity they need to go in. Leading with the bomb, gets the drop onto Drop Knock. Dirtblock just has this medic in his sights, and at this point is just farming logs right now. Hexarray is going to use, instead of dropping here to Ray Ping, is going to get forced just under the point. And this is such a scrappy fight that they did manage to just barely get second out of. But wow. Such a good bomb from Dirtblock, definitely proving to be super impactful in these fights. Doing an amazing job as a roamer, I believe, right now, and just not carrying his team, but definitely putting them on his shoulders a little bit and kind of walking forward and just making some huge plays that are just opening up for his team. Dirtblock is going to go for a sack. He is going to get Figgity, but he is going to also go down to Soup. At least it's the Demo, which is a pick that you can dry fight off of. It looks like that is going to be the choice here. They are going to use as soon as they start getting pressured by that sentry gun. They're not focusing it yet. They're not shooting it at all. The sentry gun needs to go down, but it just is not dying. And with the Uber now coming out from Drop Knock being forced out, that's going to be a collapse. And the players of B4IC not being able to get that sentry gun down are just not going to be able to get this last cap. Once again, it's just Dirtblock being a spawner left alive, and he's just going to opt to try and regroup with his team instead of going for a cheeky back cap. And with that sentry gun there, no back cap is going to work. A little bit of a stalemate here. Hexarray holding passive for disad. They're at a pretty substantial disad, about 30%, which is definitely actionable, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to make use of it, and especially if they pop through immediately here, which it seems like that might be what they end up doing. The Super can just be kited out, and B4IC can just push right back in with their Uber, as long as they're able to keep a lot of their players and Hexarray left, or keep a lot of their players and Hexarray alive. Dirtblock in behind is going to go down, kind of unfortunate. I believe he did manage to trade out with Frag, though. But you win some, you lose some, and unfortunately for him, that one just wasn't in the cards, and this is going to be the midpoint, securely in control of zxcv, but B4IC has full Uber at here, and they're just not doing anything with it. They had quite a substantial Uber, and they just didn't decide to do anything with it. I'm not exactly sure why. And now that they do finally decide to do something, Drop Knock has Uber. 43 seconds of advantage potentially lost there. Don Cheadle is going to take out Switch, and these players of B4IC are just so hurt, scrambling back to last. To try and kill these backcappers. The players on the flank here, Dirtblock and Cop McCop, are so hurt. And I think we are in a pause right now. Let's just take this time to kind of talk about the positioning of the players right now. You have the flank of zxcv in behind on the point. And that's pulling the rest of the players that are left alive for B4IC back. The flank players are so hurt that Figgity could potentially just kill them, or if these flank players just turn around, sneeze on them, they die. Dropknock is also sitting in-house here with the scout and presumably his pocket soldier, with full Uber advantage right now. As long as they're able to take out these players, one goes down. Copper is still there, going to get out through lobby. Had a scout pressured that at all, he would have died, and a little bit of a missed opportunity there. He is going to be able to get out, but coming in with a full Uber advantage here, it's going to be over, and that is the round for zxcv, and we are currently tied 2-2 with only 3 minutes left in the first half. Wasn't looking that great for zxcv early on in the first couple of rounds, with B4IC just kind of rolling their way through them. But they're definitely coming back, managing to get 2 rounds in a row, and hopefully they can fight this and potentially come back and win it. Figgity getting some good damage with these pipes. Swish is very low. Dirt block going in isn't going to get anything, and just opt to just get out and conserve his life. Copper and Swish going down. Figgity dies now as well. And just a lot of players for zxcv down really low in HP, but it's not going to matter as they're able to just focus these B4IC players down and kill them. But Dirt block in a little bit of a cheeky spot here in the pipes and house, and they are going to see him almost immediately in 2 rockets, and he just dies.
Alert. The control point is being contested. We have lost the control point.
Definitely a good job there from zxcv, being able to just keep their players up even though they were very low HP and just fight that out. Playing heals even though they were still low and just focusing down to the same targets. And now they're coming in with full Uber ad. The engineer goes down and the sentry does go down immediately. They're going to learn from their mistakes, or at least from the other team's mistakes, and get the cap, or the point capped almost immediately. That's going to be the end of the first half. zxcv leading 3-2, coming back after losing the first 2 rounds in very, very quick succession. Not really sure what changed for zxcv. Maybe they were just using those first couple of rounds to sort of suss out the enemy team. And whatever they did, clearly it worked. I'll see if I can't pull up logs here for a second. That's not it. I need this. And for logs, Ray Ping and Dirt Block doing some crazy damage, 264 and 250. But Dirt Block getting some really good frags, but Don Cheadle as well with 29. A lot of good damage here. Some of the scouts, unfortunately for B4IC, are having a little bit of a hard time. Not really being able to get away with a whole lot and get a whole lot of damage. In terms of Ubers, Hexray having 3 more Ubers, but Dropknock has dropped 3 times, which is really unfortunate. Just Dirtblock doing a huge and a very good job of getting in onto Dropknock and just dropping him repeatedly. Don Cheadle with 4 med picks, but as a surprise to nobody, Dirtblock with 5, the most out of anybody else. And it looks like we are going to be getting live, potentially, with this second half soon. That's not what I wanted to do. I need to set up hotkeys. But not a whole lot to say. I mean, I'm not really sure what changed for zxcv, but whatever they're doing is clearly working, managing to get 3 rounds in a row after losing the first 2. Definitely just playing well, and potentially a little bit of nerves coming in, but either way, they're coming back, and I would love to see the second half go back and forth continually as well, but we'll have to see what ends up happening. Thank you for the follow. I hope we'll be getting underway with the second half fairly soon here. Yeah, this is week 3 of season 5 of RGL 6 Amateur 6. I think I had put season 4 in the title for some reason. I did. It is not season 4, it is season 5. But yeah, we are seeing the B4IC going up against zxcv. Currently, zxcv is leading this match 3-2. After losing the first 2 rounds, they were able to go on a 3-round sweep here. And hopefully, at least for them, they can continue, or they can carry that momentum through into the second half and close this game out in the next 2 rounds. But obviously, B4IC is going to want to try and make that not the case and come back and win it themselves. Either way, it's very clear that these are 2 very evenly matched teams, and really both teams just playing really well, getting some good plays, but I'd have to say Dirtblock is probably the standout player here, getting those huge med picks. And unfortunately for them, it hasn't been enough to win these last couple of rounds. Looks like we are going live with the second half here. Once again, zxcv is leading this map 3-2, with B4IC being on the blue team, zxcv on the red. First round of the second half. We're getting underway with this mid here. This time we'll follow Catberg and see what he ends up doing. Figgity being a lot faster and not really getting a whole lot of damage, at least onto Catberg, but onto the rest of the people of zxcv, definitely getting a lot. Hexray and Catberg going down to a big bomb from Don Cheadle. And they could potentially have lost the mid off of that. Unfortunately for them, they're going to continue to bleed players. Lore and Dirtblock going down, followed very quickly by Cop McCopper, and it's just Catberg and Hexaray left alive, who are spawners. And they're going to opt to just hold the last point, not contest second at all. And off of a really well-played mid by zxcv, coming into last with full Uber advantage, they should be able to get this round. But with Frag going down to a sticky trap really early on, it's not looking good for them. Heavy in the hands of Lore is going to be focused down very shortly here. Cop McCopper is going to go down. This Heavy is living for so long. The Heavy does eventually go down, but with 3 players being dead, Frag has opted to go Spy, potentially to get the back cap. A good bomb from Don Cheadle getting onto Hexaray is going to die to Swish, though. They wipe here. These players of B4IC should be walking forward here, but it looks like they're going to opt to leave some players on last, potentially. With Frag on the Spy, he could potentially get this back cap. They're not leaving anyone behind. There are traps on the point, though. Go for the back cap! Why are you going for the med? Frag completely throws away chances of winning that round right there and rolling to last. He opts instead to go for the medic, which he does get it, so that's a good job for them, and that's going to put Dropknock at an almost full Uber advantage. But personally, you were alone on last. I think that was the wrong call. You should have just went for the back cap, and he would have gotten it, because everybody was in-house, and they wouldn't have been able to get back in time. Now it looks like zxcv are going to be using in through house with this full Uber ad, but they're probably not even going to have to use, as these players are just playing so passively. Dropknock nearly dies there again to Dirtblock, but this time they're able to kill him. Not losing. They don't have very much Uber to work with here, only at 10% as the time they come in. That sentry gun, once again, going to be so impactful here. It's not even going to go down. Finally, it does, but the Uber comes out from Hexaray. With Dropknock and Ray-Ping dying, they're going to have to try and play this smart. The Uber hasn't faded yet, and I think their chances of winning this push here are potentially done, but some big rockets coming in from Don Cheadle and Soup cleaning up some damage with that scatter gun. I don't know how they got that, but they did. And they are now leading 4-2. I am in disbelief of how they managed to pull that off. Frag potentially throwing away the round there, and his team being able to come back in the end and get it. Swish going down super duper low to like 20 HP. Dropknock is 1 HP. It's going to go down to a roller from Catberg. And that could be the... Oh, Hexaray at 10 HP is so close to dying to that soldier. One more second, one more rocket, and you wouldn't have a full ad coming right at you. And they're going to get second for free here. It doesn't look like any of the players from zxcv are going to be able to force this Uber, and they're just going to roll into last. Sub on the Pyro has opted to go back to... Never mind, is going to play Pyro. They do have a sentry gun as well, but Figgity goes down early. Ray-Ping just getting up as a spawner. The Pyro gets focused down. The Heavy is going to die fairly soon on the point here as well. Actually, he's managing to live! Is going to die. It's just Dropknock and Don Cheadle left alive, and with one last rocket, it's now going to be 4-3. Wow, some super evenly matched fights here. Just some good old-fashioned TF2. It's definitely good to see just some good comp. Good comp. Rolling out to yet another mid. Frag looks like he beefed his rollout just a little bit, but is going to be able to reconnect with his med. Soup walking up this right side. They don't really see him. McCopper going in for a bomb. Isn't dead yet at 1 HP. Derp. Oh, wow. A huge collapse there. Just playing that death ball almost perfectly, surrounding the enemy, giving them no escape, and just wiping their entire team with pretty much 1 or 2 rockets and a couple scattergun shots.
Control point is being contested.
And now they're going to be doing their best B4IC impression and rolling this straight into last with that Uber. And this time, there's no chance of Hexaray getting Uber at all, even though they were able to get it last time, which they really shouldn't have. But looks like with the stickies being on shutter, they are probably going to opt to go in through either left or banana. But either way, they need to go in now. Dirt block is low. Little bit of health advantage is really all you need. They are going to use it with the Uber onto the scout. The demo goes down almost instantly. Some good focus firing here. That soldier dies to a nice air shot by Ray Ping, but he is going to trade out. And with it just being Hexaray left alive, and that is the game. 5-3 in favor of zxcv. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Definitely just a well-played game for both teams. Definitely showing up tonight. Dirt block making some insane plays, getting some huge bombs, and just going ham. Either way, your victors tonight are clearly zxcv. But both teams did play quite well. We can take a quick look at logs here for that second half. And again, in terms of DPM, Figgity going huge with 385. Not a whole lot in the kills department, but some huge damage, and his team was just clearly able to kind of clean up on that. Just not a whole lot of kills here, as it was a pretty fast half. But McCopper doing well in the kill department. A lot of people over that 300 DPM threshold. Catberg, unfortunately, having a really rough time this half. And Ubers again, it's 2 or 3-2, which is probably what helped zxcv take that half and take the match in the end. Definitely just a good, well-played match from both teams. I am not disappointed at all. With that being said, with the match being over, congratulations to zxcv. Good luck to both teams in the rest of your season. If you would like to see the rest of my casts, you can find them in the playlist linked in chat. That's where all of the VODs of every single cast I do go. This one will be uploaded later tonight or early tomorrow. I do also have a Twitter now, which again you can find in the chat right now. There you'll be able to find announcements for when casts and stuff go live and other information about what I am doing and what my plans are. But with that being said, thank you to the leaders of both teams for allowing me to cast this match. It was definitely a blast, and I hope y'all have an absolute great night.